Welcome to the Alyork Sports Show. Have to hit y'all with a little throwback of the Fat Joe. Salute to Nova Parker for this joint right here. He kind of bring it back to a nigga membrane. Let me give a couple of shout outs before I start the show. Shout out to the East Coast, West Coast, Midwest, Vegas, Strong, Alphabet City. Y'all already know what the fuck. Yeah, man. Let me shout out my boy Venner too. Venner LES, man. Appreciate the love, dog. A lot of dudes thought like you, man, be a better place than this motherfucker, man. Unfortunately, motherfuckers don't think like that, man. My cousin J. Rosario, my little bro Match Money, CWN Sports, The Round Table. And don't forget on the Alyork Sports Show, each and every Sunday, 11 Pacific, 2 Eastern. This week coming up, we're going to have the NBA playoff prediction, leans, etc. You might have a couple of series that jump off already, but we'll get on to the series that haven't happened yet. Or if we find value in something that already took place, we'll give y'all that also. So now, let's go to the moment right now, man. NCAA tournament, NCAA finals, championship game yesterday at US Bank Stadium, Minneapolis, Minnesota. Damn. Minneapolis. That's like a hard word to say. And the way my stuttering that is. Anyway, y'all know what the fuck I mean. 72,000 plus in attendance. Millions and maybe even billions watching. As the Lucky Charms, Virginia Cavaliers, pull it off in a great game. 85-77. It was a great game. I mean, Virginia led most of the way. So it's not like they really stole the game. The Red Raiders could have stole the game when they took basically a 4-point lead late. Then Virginia canned the 3. Then it went back and forth. And, you know, poor coaching, basically, man. You know, Tony Bennett out-coached the other coach that coached basically, what was it, a couple of days in UNLV. I don't know. His name is Beard or whatever. I don't even want to know his name, man, because me and Noah Parker actually gave out the Red Raiders. And once they took that lead, they should have sustained the lead. I mean, you could have fouled before giving up that tying 3. They took the Popovich route, but they don't want to foul. They prefer to depend on their number 1 defense that been number 1 throughout the tournament and number 3 overall throughout the duration of the season. And they went with the D, and the D got broken up. Kid Hunter tied it up. And once I knew the game was tied going into overtime, it was a wrap after that because the momentum was all on the Cavaliers. But like I said, great game, great run by them kids. And also to close out the first half, Virginia hit a 3. I think it was Jerome that hit a 3 right before the half was over to go up 32-29. I love the over on this game, but I gave out the side on my show. So, you know, a lot of y'all know who I text. I said I like the side and the over, but I'm not making no excuses. Me and Noah gave out the side. We lost. That's how we do on the Alyork Sports Show. We give y'all nothing but the raw truth. My man Will, the money line guy, took the Cavaliers. Salute to the money line guy. He ran with the team that basically got all kind of like all the lucky plays in this series, but that's not to say they didn't earn it. They just got lucky, like with the Purdue game. That foul late. Down early to Gardner-Webb. You know, down 10.7 points. Came back. Came back against, you know, the Red Raiders. You dig what I'm saying? So, Virginia earned it. Everything they got, they earned, but they had a lot of luck with it. And you always, like they always say, you need luck and skills to win it all. That's just part of what it is. You know what I'm saying? And after last year's embarrassment, when they lost in the first round as a #1 seed, it couldn't get no worse for Tony Bennett and company. So they definitely redeemed themselves. And like they say a lot of times in a lot of sports, you got to get your heart broken before you win it all. Now, their way of getting their heart broken was different. It wasn't late in the tournament in the chip like happens to a lot of teams. Their heart got broken in the first round to a nobody. If I'm correct, it was UMCC, some shit like that. I don't even remember the name of the team. That's how bad they were. And they beat Virginia outright. It was a big spread. It could have been something like 17 into the 20s. And it was a huge embarrassment for Tony Bennett and company. And they basically buried that embarrassment by winning it all this year. And like I said, salute to the Cavaliers. Great season. You know, they lost a couple games. You know, they lost definitely to the Duke. If I'm not sure, I think they lost to the Seminoles in the tournament before the NCAA tournament. You know what I mean? And it's a great year, man. You got nothing to take away. The kids heard it last year. They were all walking off the court crying. And, you know, who better than to give it to them? You know what I mean? They earned it. They got their heart broken. But I just thought the Red Raiders, you know, I had a gun in my head. Noah had a gun in his head. It was a tough game to pick. But if I had to do it all over again, I'll take the Red Raiders. And they came up short. I mean, what else can I ask for? It was 68-68 in the regulation. We had plus 1.5. If the games were at the end of the tie, we would have won. But it didn't. It lost. Salute to everybody that had the Cavaliers. Salute to the Cavaliers. Salute to Tony Bennett, man. Great game. Once again, March Madness prevails, and it's still, in my book, the best event in all playoff sports. Even the playoffs, even the NFL playoffs, including the Super Bowl, NBA playoffs, including the finals, hockey playoffs, including the Stanley Cup, MLB playoffs, including the World Series. I just think the NCAA tournament is the best, man. I mean, it's crazy because it's so unpredictable. Like they say in other sports, they say that usually the better team wins. You know why? Because in a 4 out of 7, 3 out of 5, usually the better team is going to figure it out. But when you got a 1 and out, like in college basketball, because I guarantee you if Virginia played that team last year, 3 out of 5 or 4 out of 7, that's probably the only game they would have lost. But the fact that it's 1 and out, they lost the first game. That's why they got bumped. And that's what makes the tournament so effing good and so unpredictable. And with that, salute to NCAA, salute to college sports, man. Now, I'm going to jump into the MLB real fast. I got to bring this up. Chris Davis of the Baltimore Orioles. This guy's been stealing money for the last 3 years. He's got a current record of 0 for 50. 0 for his last 50. Where this major league used to be a stud, can't get a hit. He's 0 for his last 50. And he broke the record of 0 for 48. And now I know why Buck Showalter got ran out of Baltimore. Now I know why. But I had to bring that up. I had to bring it up because you can't be going 0 for 50, man. It just can't happen. You know what I mean? Not, especially not in the majors, man. And before I close out this video, I got a couple of touts running their mouths on my Vegas Day video. And if you remember, that video is over a year old. I left it alone because the homie, the homie texted me, hit me on the email, threatened me about calling, having lawyers pop up in my door with some papers if I continue to mention his name. So you know what? I said what I had to say. That video is self-explanatory. There's nothing I got to say about him no more, so I'm done with him. I told him I'm done, I'm out. Whatever I felt that you put against me, I retaliated with interest, because that's what I do. I like to get interest. I'm done with him. But you got some touts continuing to put little comments. And the last one is a guy named Sadat. The reason why I didn't holler at you, dog, because I got a certain image to hold. And I'm not going to let your sucking ass get me to go in with you and fuck up a few things that I told, my producers and them that I will not do. So I'm going to leave it alone, because if it wasn't for that, I would have been invited you to the Frank stand. Been invited you to the Frank stand. So if you see me not replying, it's because they're telling me to do certain things certain way, because if not, like I said, I'd have took you to the hole, fam. Trust me. And if you think I'm lying, my number's on the thing. Hit me up. We meet up. We'll holler. Whatever you want to do, dog. Whatever you want to do. Because you speaking without knowing what the fuck is going on. You using words like hating and whining. And, I mean, my man, do the math. And all that, brothers is rich because of the system. You're already wrong. Just the fact that you said that, you don't even deserve to talk to me. Because if you knew anything about marketing, that's where brothers got theirs. You know what I'm saying? But salute to him. Like I said, best wishes to him. Endeavors, whatever he does. But if you're going to argue for another man, because that's what you're doing, you sucking on another nigga's joint, defending another dude, and you don't even know what you're arguing about. So I'm going to leave it at that. I already said too much. Hit me up, dog, if you feel you want to make it personal, because you already fucked up. You're making a case that don't even exist, bro. Straight up and down. So leave it alone. And like I said, let me move forward. Alyork Sports Show. I got to get these roaches out the way. I don't let a roach just go by. I got to at least spray him. You know what I mean? At least spray him a little bit. Make him run the other way. Or if he croaks, he croaks. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, y'all, check the show each and every Sunday. 11 Pacific, 2 Eastern. We going to give y'all nothing but the raw truth, man. And I continue to thank everybody who salutes, who turns into my channel, because you guys, the more you get to know me, the more you know you're going to get nothing but the truth to help you guard. And with that, thank y'all. Alyork Sports. Salute to the East Coast, West Coast, CWN Sports, the Round Table. Love y'all motherfuckers.